I've had so much fun watching everybody's 10 things you may not know about me tag that I decided to do it myself. I'll try to make it quick. First thing you may not know about me is that I hate ketchup. I don't like to see it, I don't like to smell it, I don't like to touch it, and I definitely don't like to eat it. And I'm very concerned about how I'm going to raise children without ketchup. Because we don't buy it. Mike eats it like on his own time, if you know, at a restaurant or whatever. I don't really know where it comes from, but I just hate everything about it. I just think it's so nasty. Number 2, I've been to 48 states in the US. And the 2 that I'm missing are not the ones you would probably expect. They are Iowa and Nebraska. And Iowa especially, I'm really excited to go to. I really want to go there. I love the Midwest. And hopefully I'll go like at state fair time, because I think that would be awesome to go, you know, see all the cool farm stuff and good food. Number 3, technically I proposed to Mike. We had sort of talked about marriage, you know, mutually several times over the years, but when it came right down to it, we were camping one night, and I don't know, I just popped the question. I figured, let's just do this thing if we're gonna do it. Number 4, when I was a kid, when I was like 8 or whatever, my adult teeth started coming in. My 2 front teeth, one of them was really crooked. It was like back too far, and my parents couldn't afford braces, so we went to this old school dentist my mom used to work for, and he suggested something that straightened my teeth, and it was using a wooden popsicle stick to like leverage against my bottom teeth and push that crooked tooth forward. I did this every day, like usually every night I think, for I don't know, a year or 2, and it perfectly straightened my teeth. So I've never had braces, and my teeth are almost perfectly straight. And I got to eat a lot of popsicles. Number 5 is I went to a women's college. I didn't plan it necessarily that way. I looked at, you know, different colleges. This was the only women's college I looked at, actually. But as soon as I got onto the campus, I just loved it. I just got that feeling that I knew that it was the right place for me. And I ended up having an amazing college experience. I hated high school, but I loved college, so I definitely made the right choice. Incidentally, they also gave me like the best scholarship package, so it was a total win-win. Number 6, I fell off a cliff in the Amazon rainforest. When I was studying abroad in Ecuador, I went on like a hike through the jungle with a guide and a bunch of other students, and we got to this cliff where, as a photo op, the guide said, oh, everybody, like, you know, one by one, let's swing on the vine out over the cliff and take a picture, and, you know, that'll be a really fun souvenir for you to have. Look at me hanging on the vine. I was the last one to go because I'm really afraid of heights, and everybody else had kind of like slicked up the vine. So when I went, I just couldn't hold on. It was too slippery, and I just, you know, the vine just slipped straight through my hands, and I fell down this cliff like 30-some feet. I sprained my wrist and cut up my face, and I got a concussion, and the only way to get home was to float down the river, so I still had to do that, all beat up. I had a huge hematoma on my thigh too that was like a dinner plate, and shortly thereafter I was going to the clinic at the school to like kind of get checked up and get x-rays, and I got hit by a taxi. Not serious, but it was like I just couldn't win. Number 7, when I was 15, I got a poem published in a literary journal. I was always a writer as a kid and a young adult. It's not something I do very much anymore, but I was always really into creative writing, and, you know, just for my own purposes. And I just took a stab at sending off some work I had done to different literary journals, and this one around Los Angeles, you know, picked my poem and published it. Number 8, my pinky finger is freakishly small. See that? It's like half the size of the rest of my fingers. Alice does not have this, but at almost 9 months old, her fingers are almost as long as this one. I don't know. It's always been really hard to find gloves, any gloves. My hands are really small anyway, but this finger is just ridiculous. And both hands are like that. Wearing gloves, the pinky of the glove always like folds completely in half. Number 9. I love marshmallows. And I think they're really gross too because they're like not even food. They're made with gelatin and that's gross. I don't even eat like that kind of meat. And I wish I didn't love them, but I do. They're such a guilty pleasure. There's nothing else like them. So, yeah, I eat a few marshmallows every day. I'm not proud. Number 10 is that I have this sort of unexplained attraction to tall ships. Like old, historic, wooden, sailboats. Big ones. I love the water. I love being on the water. And I've always just had this gotten this really good feeling on touring tall ships and stuff. When I lived in San Francisco, the National Park Service has like a little maritime historic park at Fisherman's Wharf, and they have several tall ships there. And I volunteered there to like help keep up the ships, polishing wood, repainting, that kind of stuff. And got to learn a little bit about like the rigging, and I just like the whole thing. I like the old seafaring songs, and I just think it would be the most amazing thing to go on like a long sailing trip on the ocean. I think that'd be fabulous. Mike and I have never taken a honeymoon, so who knows, maybe one day we'll take some sort of sea voyage. That's it. Hope you enjoyed.